The PBA Elite League playoffs are here. From Bayside Bowl, 6 teams have come together to win the Elias Cup. Only one can be champion. Bowling heaven awaits. Bayside Bowl is rocking on a Sunday evening on FS1 as we have first round action in the Elias Cup playoffs. It's the Motown Muscle, guided by E.J. Tackett and Anthony Simonson, taking on the New Jersey KingPins. Then the Akron Adams Splitters and LAX will see Las Vegas and Portland tomorrow night as our 3 nights of coverage begins right now on FS1. PBA Elite League, folks. 8 teams that played one another twice all throughout a season that went weeks and months. I'm John Fanta. He's the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson. Randy, this is so unique because we have some of the world's greatest, but in a team format. What makes it special? What comes to your mind?
You know, John, when I was a kid bowling, growing up in Southern California, the one thing I looked most forward to was Bowling Travel League. And for the first time ever in league history, that's exactly what we had in 2024. These teams traveling throughout the country at PBA events, qualifying to get here. Different formats, different venues, different oil patterns. It was a true test for the teams and the players. We started with 8, we're down to 6, all culminating right here at iconic Bayside Bowl.
Before we get to the teams we'll see tonight, the #1 seed in the playoffs, the Las Vegas High Rollers, they lived up to their name.
Yeah, they really did. What a strong performance by this team throughout the season, spearheaded by the MVP, that man right there, Andrew Anderson. He got 100% of the MVP votes.
Just a brilliant season for Anderson. On the other side, the Portland Lumberjacks are looking for redemption this time around behind the franchise West Malott.
So they know how to win the event, right? I mean, they won 3 in a row. They were runners-up last year, spearheaded by the franchise player West Malott, but the Titans, Chris Prather and Kyle Troop.
How are the reigning champion Waco Wonders not here?
What the hell's going on down there in Waco?
You asked that all season, and Waco is home. So we get 3 through 6 in this one. In our first matchup, Motown Muscle, New Jersey KingPins. You see major champions, you see some of the world's best on display.
I mean, just talent up and down the lineups for both of those teams. Starting with New Jersey, Marshall Kent, their anchor player. What a season he's had. His best ever on tour, winning twice, one of them being a major.
The Tournament of Champions for Marshall Kent. A moment of glory in Akron. How about this guy and Anthony Simonson?
How about him and E.J. Tackett on the same team? Talked to manager Jason Couch, the Hall of Famer. He said, look, Randy, on paper, we're the best team. Well, that's paper. They got to prove it on the lanes.
They're perhaps the hottest team. They've won 7 of their last 9, have the Motown Muscle. Kimberly Pressler's with 2 of the superstars in this opening matchup, E.J. Tackett and Marshall Kent.
Thank you, John. So, E.J. and Marshall, you both have had a phenomenal season so far. In fact, you both were in the running for Player of the Year. But, E.J., let's start with you. When it comes to team competitions, both of you haven't had as much success as you had individually. So I got to ask you, what makes a good team player?
Just really being there for your team, right? You got to go out there, give them information, what you're trying to do. And that's really all it is. Support your teammates, try to get them going, and maybe we can end up winning like the Waco Wonders did last year. And maybe if we can do that, I might, get a mustache out or something like the old Parker Bone from the 90s.
You absolutely should, but I got to ask you, do you think you're a good team player?
I try to be the best that I can. I know in the past I might not have been. I'm a little bit older now, and I've tried to improve upon that. So hopefully my teammates think that I am, and I try to do the best that I can. I leave it all out there for them.
A little bit older, a little bit wiser. Good luck to you guys. You. And Marshall, let's play off of what we just talked to E.J. about. Do you feel like you are a good team player?
You'd have to ask my teammates that. I feel like I do the best I can, but their feedback's very important. So our team has a lot of trust and faith in each other. So I think we're ready to go out in Flamingo and go see how this sport all pans out.
Well, I actually talked to one of your managers, Carolyn, and she said, in fact, that you guys are the most cohesive team that is a non-ego driven that she's ever had. So clearly you guys have a full team of team players. So how do you translate that into strikes?
We just communicate with each other. We have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, some youth as well. And You know, we have a great trust and faith in each other, and like I said, a whole year our teams worked so well together, and so hopefully it carries over into today.
Good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Great stuff from Marshall, EJ, and Kimberly. It is a race to 2 points. First round matchup here for both matchups today. If tied after 2 games, we have the winners of a shootout in which each team will select 3 players to throw 1 ball apiece. Take a look at the Motown Muscle lineup. What do you see in this 5?
I see back-to-back tack and attack.
Yeah. And we could very well see Sam Cooley in game 2. Based on talking with Motown Muscle. Jason Sterner, the 40-year-old, leads it off with a strike.
He's been a total stud throughout this competition, throughout the year. Another player that's really, really good here at Bayside.
Leading to 1 Chris Barnes. Roll first for the New Jersey KingPins, the experienced, seasoned veteran. Such a legendary career for Chris Barnes. His son Ryan doing big things now. And Chris mirrors Motown. 19-time champion. Chris Barnes, as Justin Knowles will now get rolling for Motown Muscle. This team, again, to think they started 1-4 on their season. They won 7 of their last 9. Lefty. This rock there.
Wow. Justin really turning it on at the World Series of Bowling.
12th year professionally, 6th at the United States Open in 2023. There's Richie Teese, the England native. These 2 teams came ready. Richie, a 1-time champion, the Shark Championship back in 17. First blink of this opening first round matchup.
Fortunate to get 9 on that shot. Easy spare attempt coming up for the Englishman. There's the Hall of Famer. You know what her nickname is, John? Honey Badger. You don't mess with the Honey Badger.
No, the Ballards have given so much to this sport. You think about it, between Carolyn and Dell, that's close to 75 years combined playing experience.
Both Hall of Famers, both just great champions. I give the intensity to Carolyn in that family, though.
Well, she was a 2008 inductee to the USBC Hall of Fame. 22-time champion in PBAEL. And there's a big one for Zach Tackett, who got inserted into that 3rd slot for Cooley.
Yeah, we spoke to manager Jason Couch right before this game started, and he said that Sam was having some trouble on the left lane, but we'll probably bring him in for game 2 when the teams change lanes.
Moore, BJ Moore with a strike.
One of the prettiest games in all of professional bowling right there.
Randy, there's just such a smoothness when he releases it.
It's just efficiency of motion.
And as you see Jason Couch, former manager of the Chicago Breeze.
Jay, sorry about your Gators yesterday. They got demolished.
Did you have to bring that up?
I had to.
There's EJ Tackett.
Did you see all the Gator gear he was wearing?
How about EJ's season? His consistency at 1 point.
How about the last couple of seasons? Just dominating.
6 shows in a row at 1 point. And
just
this
dominant guy.
One of the feel-good stories of the year.
Yep.
Fell back in love with it, and Marshall Kent drills it. Come on, baby. He said he fell out of love with this sport. Just was not himself a year ago. What a transformation. Now here's a guy who comes in hot. As compelling as anybody, the 27-year-old Anthony Simonson. 5-time major champion. Simo.
Only one player standing in this guy's way of winning a Player of the Year honor, and he's on the same team. E.J. Tackett.
The Muscle talked quite a big game coming into this. That's 5 strikes to start.
Yeah, like I said, on paper, right?
Yep.
Do it on the lanes. Great start for them.
6th-year pro Packy Hanrahan, 2-time tour champ.
No!
Strikes aplenty in Portland. This crowd is loving it. Folks, I want to talk about firing fastballs to start the evening. RP, you want some lobster?
Yeah.
For now, we're serving strikes. Let's get started. Welcome back to PBA Elite League, presented by Snickers. The Elias Cup playoffs, first round action. Motown Muscle, New Jersey Kingpins in a heated battle in our opener of a race to 2, Baker style.
That is so not flattering, just saying. Let's take a look at our roll pattern, Johnny. It's the Mark Roth, 42 feet in length. And we're going to show you how the players are going to attack this both left and right side. It's the Brunswick oil pattern. And you can see where the players are going to play, but there are other options. We already saw Chris Barnes going much straighter from out. Let's go down to the floor and speak with the manager of Motown, Jason Couch. Jason, you told us earlier, hey, look, we're the best team on paper. We got to prove it on the lanes. You're off to a red-hot start. What do you see early on?
I just told my guys to bowl with some urgency, bro, and just stick to the course, and we'll be fine.
All right, Jay, thanks.
You got it.
Jason won his 2nd career PBA 50 title at the PBA 50 Amtrak Singles Classic Open back in April, and PBA Tour history, only player to ever win 3 consecutive TOCs.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad back in his day. Great player.
Jason.
Yeah, that was left the whole way, guys. Let's take a look at the numbers here on Strike Track. Big miss left, out of the break.
On that first shot by Sterner. Cannot clean it up. That is a massive miss.
Big miss. You start off like that, you have the lead, and then you give it right back to these guys, and the Hall of Famer steps up, working on 3 in a row.
And he smells blood and momentum. Chris Barnes, his first major win came back in 05, U.S. Open. Barnesy.
You see a player go down to one knee after they let go of it, they like it.
Chris Barnes. Add emotion. How many times has he done that?
A lot. I want to know where his glasses are. He's got contacts now? Do you have LASIKs?
4 at 11.
I'll have to ask Carolyn when we come back after game 1.
Justin Knowles with such a sharp regular season. And Knowles, a little fortune there, throws his hands up in the air. Look at that difference.
Big miss there, but a great break for Justin. It's all right to get a break every now and then. It goes the other way so often. The Englishman.
Richie Teese, who struck his first time up. Richie,
oh boy,
not this time.
Another 2-pin.
Well, this is a matchup between 2 8 and 6 teams that really came into the year believing they could be at the top of Elite League. But it's been the little things. And in these matches, when you've got the world's very best, it's cleaning things up like this, where we saw Motown blink. For Teese, he will do just that here. So KingPins on top right now.
And keep in mind, John, in a Baker format, the hardest part is the rhythm, right? So much time in between shots.
This guy found out moments before that he would be in this number 3 slot. Zach Tackett was not in the original lineup that we received. Sam Cooley expected in game 2 potentially, but Tackett. Zach is perfect.
Yeah, he's ready for this. You can see it. And he's really gotten a lot better in a short period of time. He's really improved in 2024.
How about who Jason Couch, as BJ Moore steps up? How about their draft picks? Sam Cooley, Zach Tackett, Justin Knowles, Jason Sterner.
Yeah, not bad. Got a hook.
BJ, it's...
I'm sorry, did I just say that? And BJ Moore threw it, and I said it's got like it wasn't. Come on. Come on, Randy, you're better than that. That guy can make it hook on ice.
You talk to yourself a lot.
In my head, yeah.
I haven't seen you in several months, so I don't blame you. It's good to see you, partner.
It's good to see you, buddy. Always a pleasure working with you and the rest of our crew.
Tackett, back-to-back jacks for the Tackets.
Hey, what a rebound after the open, right?
Very much so.
And he sets the table for Simonson in the 10th frame, where if Simo strikes out, they'll win game 1.
If you want to set something up for an anchor, certainly it's the way you want to do it. Back to Kent. Tournament of Champions, and that's a rough one. Boy.
I mean, I can see Barnes playing that line because he's got a lower rev rate, but Marshall Kent's got a lot of paw, a lot of hand, and I would have thought he would be playing more angle. Now he's left himself with the tough 3, 9, 10.
Again, for those just joining us, it's a race to 2. This is just the opening game between these two teams.
Wow.
Wow. That's Marshall Kent, who's been one of the best in all the PBA this year. About that.
Simo stepping up. Needs just a mark.
Anthony Simonson.
How about it?
Yep.
I know what's up. Come on.
Delivers. Yes, sir. And for the Motown Muscle, what a recovery.
I mean, like it was nothing, right? They made it look easy after the opening by Jason Sterner.
I think that right there, Randy, shows how much talent they've really got.
Oh, there's no question about the talent.
They got to be the best 4 seed you'll ever see. 7, but the Motown Muscle are feeling the mo. They recovered nicely. What's this here?
He's going to look at another shape. Going to a different orb.
Randy, his mind never stops working.
He reminds me of Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. I mean, he is calculating, thinker,
Nice team game there, guys.
visionary. He really is processing at 1,000 miles an hour.
For what it's worth, these two teams split their matchups in the regular season. So for the KingPins, certainly not cooked by any means. You get a second game, and in this Baker style, we would go to a roll-off, 3 players apiece from each team, 1 ball apiece, if we got to that 3rd game. But right now, the KingPins will have to respond. They had momentum for a moment off our first commercial break, and then the Tackett said, we're taking this into our own hands.
Yep.
And that's 7.
Soft 7 for Packy. And keep in mind, folks, that these two teams will flip-flop lanes to start game 2.
See that happen. The winner of this one gets the High Rollers of Las Vegas, led by Andrew Anderson, the MVP of the regular season, tomorrow night. The Muscle flexing. Motown, E.J. Tackett, Anthony Simonson and company have their minds on being a 4 seed that emerges as champion this week in Portland. 1 game down, another to go. Will New Jersey bounce back? We'll see. Welcome back to the Alliance Cup playoffs, the PBA Elite League presented by Snickers. Our coverage of the PBA Elite League playoffs presented by Snickers continues tomorrow night with 4 hours of live semi-final coverage beginning at 7 Eastern. Semi-final number 1. Las Vegas High Rollers will meet the winner of our current matchup, Motown and New Jersey. Then at 9 Eastern on FS1, the Portland Lumberjacks, 3-time champions before last year, return looking to make it 4 out of the last 5 years. They'll take on the winner of Akron and LAX. Well, we told you about a certain legend earlier.
Let's go down to the floor and talk with manager, Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran-Ballard. Carolyn, the two teams now have swapped lanes.
Yep.
What is the biggest difference between the two?
Well, we actually think the left lane has a tendency to hook a little bit earlier. As you know from years past, one lane plays so much differently. That's why we stayed with the lineup the way we have it now, because we're going to go with a little bit of experience. We know exactly how the lanes are playing, but we know Cortez is ready to jump in at any moment. So we're going to see what happens.
All right, Carolyn, thanks. Good luck in game 2. And John, while we have a moment, we'd like to send our condolences to our colleague, Kimberly Pressler, whose mother recently passed. Kimberly, our thoughts, our prayers, our love go out to you and your family.
Absolutely, Kimberly. Kimberly is an awesome mom herself, and it's easy to see why. Your mom's smiling down. Chris Barnes will start it out here, and that's a big start as the New Jersey KingPins aim to respond. Randy, it looked an awful like the KingPins were in a good place in game 1. It fell apart.
Well, they had the opportunity and just didn't capitalize on the open. But with that being said, Motown was relentless after that open, stringing a ton of strikes together.
67% strike rate for Jason Sterner in the regular season, and he converts.
So Motown, after the open, strings 4 in a row. The KingPins were unable to double after frame 6.
On this left lane, back to Richie Tees.
Looking for his first strike.
Englishman. And he's got it.
And you heard Carolyn say that the left lane's got a little more friction. Remember the 2 shots Richie threw on the right lane? Light. This time it faces up perfect.
Your thoughts about Carolyn being ultra competitive?
Yeah.
I felt that in that interview. She is locked in. Why not? That's a Hall of Famer right there.
There's her husband standing right next to her, another Hall of Famer.
13-time champion Del Ballard Jr. in the 7 left for Justin Knowles.
Yeah, it was a good shot.
Justin Knowles is a guy who was really strong in the regular season. Another look. He led all players who bowled at least 20 frames with a 70.45 strike percentage. Nearly 4 points greater than the next best player, Sterner. So Knowles really proved himself on this Motown muscle team in the regular season.
And 93% on that 7-pin. Our great stats, as always, brought to us and to you by our great friends at Lane Talk. For more information, go to lanetalk.com and download their free app.
Get to that right now. Back to BJ Moore. Little hook you asked earlier. That was money.
Come on, boys!
Zach Tackett stays in that 3rd slot. Had a great feel as he makes his Elite League debut this year for this team. The brothers Tackett came up big in game 1. Zach is on fire.
Nice to see how his confidence has changed.
4 regional titles for Zach. Beat Graham Fond, Sam Cooley back in Morgantown in July for a championship. Marshall Kent. Uh-oh.
I mean, that is just so far outside. I don't understand why he's playing this pattern this way. He's got so much hand, he can get in and hook it with the best.
too. Why do you think he's playing that way?
Obviously, he feels he's got a better chance doing that, which there's nobody playing him that far, right? Obviously, that was a mistake and a miss.
But you
head scratcher for me.
You have a frame like that, and then it leads to this guy when you're already down. Tough for the KingPins. 4. Well, Jason Couch and this Motown Muscle team that came in winning 7 of 9. They have been red hot. They are not, they're the furthest thing from a 4 seed. All you have to do is look at the 2 men on your screen.
All right. That was me.
Oh, I know.
I thumbed it down bad.
Everybody out there knows it.
That was great. EJ said, I thumbed it down, and Couch said, yeah, I know. And everybody up in the mezzanine knows.
Seven for Hanrahan. Becky Hanrahan, 2-time PBA League Elias Cup champ with Portland. Yeah, 2020 and 22. Packy cleans up the 7. We got a tight one here. KingPins have to win.
And even with the open frame, the KingPins are up by 1.
To Anthony Simonson. Simo. 10 for Simonson.
Easy there. 7 goes late, just the 10.
Able to finish these off. It's why Motown didn't get up into the top 2. Simo finishes that one. Motown trying to put away the KingPins. The KingPins, though, opportunity knocks for Chris Barnes and company. A heated battle. Who will move on to meet the High Rollers? We'll find out next. Welcome back to the PBA Elias Cup playoffs. PBA Elite League presented by Snickers from Bowling Heaven. Bayside Bowl. Next Sunday, week 3 of the NFL kicks off on Fox as Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles against Derek Carr and the Saints, or other regional action. And in America's Game of the Week, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens look to bounce back, taking on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Check for the game in your area, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Well, Randy Peterson, you think about greatness. We've talked about it. These two represent that in the biggest of ways. Combined 75 years of playing experience.
Yeah, 2 of the sport's greatest. I've known them for so many years and competed against Dell, bowled with Carolyn in some events, and but aside from their great careers, they're just great people.
Here's a 2-time PBA League MVP. He's one of 10 men to play in every season. PBA League. The Elite League, Chris Barnes. The KingPins up 2.
Oh boy.
Oh.
That's fortunate. Again, you can see the wide right.
I screamed nose and everything. It didn't make it.
Left side. You see players go way right.
I mean, that could have been 5. Instead, it's just a 2-pin.
I was thinking about it when looking at these two teams. One of the issues for New Jersey coming into the playoffs that they talked about, Randy, they were second to last in team strikes. This team, Motown, number 1 in team strike percentage. 57% strike percentage in the regular season. Back to Sterner. Jason Sterner. There it is. That's how the Muscle win.
I cheated a half left at that.
Big spot for Richie Teets.
Hard to believe his one and only title was 7 years ago.
Struck his last time. Some of the Kingpins. At 10 for the 34-year-old in Shark Championship back in 2017.
6-second pin on the right, wrapping around the 10 pin. That's a ring and 10. And with a spare conversion here, game 2 is all tied up.
Congrats to Richie, by the way. He got married last June. His wife, Katie. Congrats to the Teeses. That 10, he cleans it up, but here we go, RP. Talked about it, that difference between strike percentage. There's a mascot in the crowd. I always love looking at the crowds here at Bayside Bowl. It's become such a staple. You were bringing it up earlier, just how great of a find this was for Tom Clark and company.
Yeah, it was like finding gold in Tom Clark. He discovered this place, and well, here we are.
Nice.
Some years later, and it just, you know, Portland, Maine is just a wonderful, wonderful city, and this place never disappoints.
No.
Great shot here by Justin Knowles, and just a rack shredder.
DJ Moore on this left lane.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
Wow. A break.
My goodness. DJ Moore perfect.
Never a doubt, right? Never a doubt.
For his 4 shots for the Kingpins. Yeah, that scared me, BJ. That thing came all the way back from Bangor.
That's a new one. Zach Tackett's been fantastic. An 8 that would not go. Stubborn 8 for Zach. And again, folks, this Baker format means that if the Kingpins were to even it up, we would have each team put 3 players up for a roll-off. Best score wins, 1 ball apiece. Zach Tackett cleans it up. Muscle had the lead, but just a spare for Zach. And now Marshall Kent, can he find it, Randy Peterson? He has not found it.
Looks like he's moved. And a ball change. Oh yeah, he's moved big time. There you go, Marshall. There you go. What was that other crap?
Let's go. Come on.
I mean, that's where he should have been playing the whole time. I mean, he's as good at doing that as anyone.
And was throughout the season on the best in points. E.J. Tackett with just 1 pin difference between these 2 teams. What a matchup in our opening first rounder.
Hates it. Should hate it. Not a good time for that to happen. Marshall makes a huge change, the adjustment, and doubles up. And now they can steal game 2.
Leading us to that roll-off scenario.
Got it. Let's go, run it down.
Still some business to finish, though. Needs to clean this up, this Tackett here. World champion this year. And EJ, a new dad this year as well, does spare, but you just said it. The Kingpins, credit to them. We talked about their issues with striking. Packy Hanrahan will cap it here.
Strike at 8, and we'll go to a roll-off. Packy's been rock solid in this position and these situations.
the 7.
That was really good. Really good. And look how quickly the max scores change.
Tough.
What a teaser.
Thought about dancing. Got cold feet and said no. How about this? Just when you think. So Hammerhead cleans that up, but for the muscle, they want to avoid having to send 3 players for a roll-off to determine who's going to meet the high rollers tomorrow. Jason Couch's team has some life here and an opportunity. And Anthony Simons is going to step up in a big, big slot.
Simonson will need a double, or we go to a roll-off.
And there's Hammerhand to finish it off, 208. Randy, this is why we love this here, right? You get to see the best of the best in pressure-packed situations on their teams.
Last time up on this right lane, Simonson left a 10-pin.
Simonson and E.J. Tackett, the 2 protected players by Jason Couch on this Motown Muscle team. Simonson, yes sir! Anthony Simonson in crunch time.
No defense in this sport, just offense. And right now, the KingPins' fate lies in the hands of Anthony Simonson.
Anthony Simonson in a big spot, has delivered so many times in his career. As interesting a bowler as any in the PBA. Anthony Simonson, the 10! Hangs! KingPins keep a pulse! Shootout coming!
Well, we say it all the time that every shot thrown makes somebody happy. And as saddening as that ringing 7 was for Packy, the same goes for the right-hander Simonson.
Wow, so we are heading to a roll-off. That bell rings. Who is going to meet the high rollers tomorrow? What a first-round showdown between these 2 teams. And now who do you send up?
I think you send Simo, Tackett. You pick one. I would go with Zach right now. He's got a hot hand. And Justin Knowles. And then for the KingPin, Barnes, BJ Moore, Packy.
Again, each team sends 3 players apiece. It's 1 ball only.
And just total pins knocked down.
That score wins if we are even through the 3. Like a shootout in soccer, you would see a 4th bowler step up, and we would continue on from there. Anthony Simonson on this right side, winning his 15th title of the PBA Tour Finals in Bethlehem, beating Marshall Kent in that title match. Now Simo, the 10 again. Wow.
Max score is 30.
Well, you've loved everything BJ Moore's done this evening, and now leading it off for the KingPins.
The only player that's been perfect in 2 games.
Fitting way to start to increase that max. Moore!
How about it?
Boom! BJ Moore. Now the muscle go with Sterner. So they go Sterner between Simonson and Tackett. Needing it, Sterner gets it.
Great shot.
That is high pressure bowling right there.
Yep. Now.
Sudden death right here. Going with Barnes, the vet.
Two-time MVP in PBA League. A quarter century of experience. The 7.
We're all tied up.
How about this? Oh boy. Again, if we're even through 3, each team will pick a 4th player. Wow. Justin Knowles over E.J. Tackett. What do you make of that?
Last 2 shots by E.J. Tackett were not good.
That just shows the difference in team bowling. You're going to pick the guy that you believe in the most in that very moment. No E.J. Tackett, as good as anybody in the sport, and Knowles delivers!
Great shot, kid. Great shot.
Jason Couch, press the right button.
He's going to go to E.J. Tackett now if Packy strikes. Packy has to strike on this shot.
Justin Knowles delivered. One lefty to another. Hanrahan! Cold-blooded! 29-all. Let's keep bowling. Wow.
Now we go to Tackett.
This is sudden death. From here, it's 1v1. Throw out the results from the first 3. We'll do this until we have a winner. Deliver here. The tap. On that right side. Did it for Simo too. A strike wins it, and what a comeback this would be for the KingPins.
This could be the biggest turnaround we've seen in a long time, where Marshall Kent started and what adjustment he made.
The Tournament of Champions king this year, Marshall Kent can't do it! The Muscle are moving on! Motown will be in Maine
That was awesome,
Monday
boys.
night in the
Way to
semis.
work, guys. Way to work.
That was some match.
Marshall Kent's had a lot of highs this year. He'll be thinking about that.
It's painful because you have so many other players relying on you. When it's just you, you know, you kick yourself in the rear end and you pick yourself up off the ground and you move on. But you've got a whole team relying on you, counting on you, hoping. And it's quite the letdown as a player.
Let's send it to Kimberly.
Jason, that roll-off was absolutely intense, but you know what? Your team was clutch when they absolutely needed to be. And you said at the top of the show, on paper, your team is the team to beat. You feel like they lived up to that hype today?
I'm going to need some CPR at some point because I'm tired of the roll-offs. But yes, I mean, I feel like I put guys in the right spot tonight. I asked Zach Tackett to step up and bowl with some urgency tonight, and he did. Fantastic job by my whole team. You guys rock.
Zach was absolutely on fire today. You did a great time with your lineup, but now you guys advance, and you're taking on the #1 seed, the High Rollers. So how do you keep that momentum going?
I just tell the guys to stay the course, do what you do, and every time they step up on the approach, I just do your job. That's what you're here for, do your job, and they're amazing.
Congratulations on your win.
Awesome, thank you.
What a win for Jason Couch. He pushed a button with Justin Knowles, and he pushed it correctly. Pushed one with Zach Tackett. That worked too. Sometimes you have faith. And today, Jason Couch did, and he was rewarded for Motown moving on. Next up, it's Akron and LA. Who will claim that final semifinal slot? The answer ahead. Welcome back to the PBA Elite League playoffs, presented by Snickers. Bowl anywhere, anytime with the PBA Bowling Challenge mobile game for iPhone, iPad, and Android. Continuously updated with new ball options, new venues, new competitions, challenges, and in-game rewards. Visit PBA.com and download the free app today. Well, what a showdown we just saw between Motown Muscle and the New Jersey KingPins, with the Muscle finding a way, Randy Peterson.
Yeah, that was a great match, and coming down to the roll-off, and then after 3 players on each side, we had another roll-off, and I didn't expect it to turn out the way it did. I thought Marshall would get up and strike, but instead it was a big 4 that ended up doing it in for the KingPins. But what a match.
In the spirit of team bowling, that leads us to today's pressing questions. Folks, there's so many great relationships on the PBA Tour, and that's exactly what we sent Kimberly Pressler out to do. Because week after week, PBA pros compete to win, but that doesn't mean they don't make friends out on the tour. That's Pressing Questions, presented by Go Bowling.
EJ, who would you say has the best bromance on tour?
Well, I would say probably me and Ronnie.
Why?
Well, he was in my wedding, which Marshall was in my wedding too, so maybe it's like more than one? Me, Ronnie, and Marshall?
There is a little bit of a bromance, but they play it very cool. Tommy Jones and DJ Archer.
DJ and I fight the most, but we're up there. We're pretty close.
Didn't you and DJ used to live with each other?
DJ lived with me. Let's get it straight. We didn't live together.
Officially corrected. Got you.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of like I should have been able to write him off on my taxes because I claimed him as a child.
I watch Jesper and Kyle a lot.
Kyle and Jesper.
Kyle and Jesper?
Yeah, I guess it's Jesper and I.
And why do you think you two get along so well?
Because we're so opposite.
I think you and Bill O'Neill qualify under the romance category, yeah?
Oh, I think we're too old now. You know, we don't really hug each other anymore. We used to when we were young.
David, who has the biggest bromance on tour?
I think it's Kevin Williams and himself. He loves himself so much.
I'm going me and Mitupe though. We are best buds forever and always.
But I heard it was you and Packy.
You know, honestly, it switches. But me and all my friends have the best friendships because we're the 3 best friends that anyone could ever have, and we'll never, ever, ever leave each other.
Who was your best friend?
Oh gosh, I got to go with my old pal growing up, George Branham III. We roomed together for many years on tour, and Georgie and I are still friends to this day. So yeah, I go George Branham III.
Let's turn to our second showdown here in this first round. You've got the Akron Atom Splitters, who were so steady, but just outside the top 2 in this one. You've got Chris Vi, Jesper Svensson on one side, then some guy named Belmonte on the other side. You know him?
Yeah, I've heard of this guy. I think he's from Australia. You know, he's won just about everything you can win in the sport except this event. He's just never figured out a way to get over that hump. We'll see what happens here.
We'll see if Belmo can step up. As far as the Akron Atom Splitters go, they never lost more than 2 consecutive matches. They went 9-5, and Jesper Svensson, Chris Vi and company, they swept that season series over LAX, including in the regular season finale. Taking a look at our Bowl TV highlights. Dominance from this group.
Yeah, strong team, but you know, let's give some credit to the manager Mark Baker, who knows how to win this event, and Mark's a genius at strategizing and getting players in the right spots, and getting that roster and that lineup done to his advantage.
So Akron swept that season series between these 2 teams. Can LAX recover? Who will meet Portland tomorrow night? We get that answer next. Welcome back to the PBA Elite League, presented by Snickers Alliance Cup playoffs. The Akron Atom Splitters. They meet LAX with the Portland Lumberjacks awaiting the winner of this one. Yes, tomorrow we have 4 hours of PBA action for you, starting at 7 Eastern time. Las Vegas, the High Rollers led by Andrew Anderson. They'll take on Motown. Muscle, Simo, and Tackett will be in action. Then Portland awaits the winner of this one right here, right now, before our Alliance Cup final Tuesday, FS1, 7 Eastern time. John Fanta, Randy Peterson, and Kimberly Pressler is with somebody downstairs.
Thanks, John. So, Mark, let's start with you. Under your guidance, your team has actually won this event 3 different times, but unfortunately, you weren't able to make every single event this year. So, Chris Vi kind of stood in for you as the co-manager, and he did something you said you would have never done, which is he switched up the lineup quite a few times, but both of you are here tonight. So, what's the plan? How did you decide to put the lineup together to this evening?
Yeah, usually on the flight out to Maine, I set my lineup and I never change it again. But we're going a little different tonight. Chris had a lot of influence. He watched them ball all year. We put a few guys into different spots. Can't wait to get started against Jason.
Good luck to you guys tonight. And Jason, this is the first year that you are both the player and the manager, and you told us earlier in the pre-show interviews that you were a bit hesitant about being really vocal at the start of the season in that manager role. So how has that changed for you? How has you developed more as a manager?
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot as the season has progressed. I mean, listen, it's never easy. Sometimes with the emotions, it gets a little bananas out here, and you know, there's 5 guys, arms going everywhere, high fives, the tentacles are like octopuses, and you're trying to like make a decision, and it's really difficult. So as the season has gone on, I've understood it's okay to be firm. These boys are mature. They've been great all year. I did it again today. We're on board, so here we go to do our very best.
Good luck to you guys.
Thank you, Kimberly. Randy Peterson. Jason Belmonte's the only player to compete for the same franchise in all 11 seasons of the PBA League. They have 3 runner-up finishes. They've never been able, as you said, to get that title. Barrett and Belmo is how they'll finish. 5 and 9, their regular season, but throw it out right now. All that matters is that you're standing here. And it begins with Kevin Williams. Williams, known also for his music side. That's a strong opening song for LAX. To Chris Vi for the Atom Splitters. Mark Baker, their manager, but Vi, such an influence on this roster. And Vi starts strong. Come on, this team beat the High Rollers in the regular season. A great matchup with Portland in the regular season as well. Fell just short. All about filling frames. They were 7th in filled frame percentage as a team in the regular season. As here is Thomas Kalka.
Good try, John.
Just trying to be you. Go ahead and give us the Randy Peterson approved pronunciation of Thomas's last name.
It really doesn't matter what I say, because every time I say it, Tomas says, no, that's not how you say it. Even though I think I'm saying exactly what he's saying. Okay, good. And then he'll say, no, you're close, but so I just call him Tomas.
The man from Finland. 3rd at the 2023 U.S. Open. 2nd at the Delaware Classic. We had him earlier this season. He's got game. And cleans that up for LAX. Again, it's a Baker format, so it's a race to 2. This isn't end-all, be-all game 1.
This guy's been red hot lately. Francois.
What do you like about his game?
Great touch. The only thing he lacks is that big high-power rev rate. But he makes up for it by throwing shots like that.
That's just cool. It's a beautiful-looking technical shot.
This guy doesn't lack any speed or power, does he?
The irony of going from LaFond to Nuke. Kaboom!
Oh my goodness!
It's like a bar fight breaks out.
Yeah.
If I've said this before to you, if I were stuck in an alley, I've never been, but if I were and I needed one pro to help me out, I would call Kevin McCune. That guy could play left tackle.
Strong kid.
Here's Tom Doherty. PBA LBC National Championships Clash winner a year ago. You can see that event next week on FS1. Doherty, he likes his center, Randy.
Yes, he does. Dominator. Talk about touch. This guy, man, what a game.
To Don Barrett. 10-time champion, future Hall of Famer. What a way that LAX finishes. You get here, you get to Barrett and Belmo. You want to talk experience and poise.
Dom, maybe the second best international player or European player behind Mika Koivuniemi.
Dick Allen loves this center. His crowd loves him, and he gets a little bit of help. That's why he likes it so much. 7-time champion.
You talk international players, you got to obviously throw Amleto Monticelli in the mix as well.
Dick Allen won the extra frame shoutout here in 2018.
Been an MVP of this event, but now Belmonte looking to create a three-bagger for his team. Well done.
Belmo doing Belmo things. And you just think all the things that he's accomplished in his career. We had a great conversation with him earlier this season about staying driven. Because he's like, look, when you've done this, done that. But he said to all the people who think I'm hanging it up anytime soon, got his 4 kids running around the house, he said, I'm not going anywhere.
Jesper Svensson's fresh off of his Lucky Larson Masters win in Sweden, the Storm Lucky Larson Masters. I was there.
How was it?
It was incredible.
Lucky Larson Svensson champ Jesper Svensson looks to keep the Atom Splitters going. We got a good one here between LAX and Akron from Portland. The PBA is proud to have Bowlers to Veterans Link as the official charity of the PBA Tour. In today's BDL Salute to Veterans, we welcome retired U.S. Air Force Tech Sergeant Hilda Quinones, who served for 21 years. Thank you for your service, Hilda. To donate, go to bbl.org. Thursday, it's baseball night in America on Fox as Bryce Harper leads the Phillies in an NL East showdown against Francisco Lindor and the Mets, or Corbin Carroll and the D-backs battle the Brewers. It all begins Thursday at 7 Eastern on Fox. Check for the game in your area. While the push for October continues, we got a push here in the first round, and Randy Peterson has a guest.
Hey, Mark, you know, you've always been a master at setting your lineup so brilliantly. Where do you get that from? I mean, what's your strategy?
Well, you know, we watched them bowl all year, and they've turned in such a team by bowling all the matches. So we just tried to change it up. We hadn't won in a while, so we had to move Tom out of 4 just on karma.
All right, Mark, and what do you see thus far? I mean, you guys are perfect through 5. You like what you guys are doing, obviously. Any adjustments, any changes moving forward?
No, we just got to keep throwing good shots. Name of the game. Bowling's bowling. You just got to keep throwing good ones, Randolph.
Thank you, Marcus.
Mark Baker, 41 years pro. 4 PBA Tour titles. His wife, Shannon, son, Gage. 3 Elias Cup titles at the Silver Lake Atom Splitters, now Akron. 14, 15, and 18.
I grew up bowling against Mark when I was a kid, junior bowling, and he was intense then. He was intense on the PBA Tour. Great champion and a great coach.
Kevin Williams starting with the strike and keeps it going here.
Come on, let's go.
Kevin Williams did his job, Randy.
Yes, he did. Game 1, he's perfect. 2 strikes. Nice break there on the 10. But Akron perfect through 5.
Akron Atom Splitters. Perfect through 6.
Let's go!
This is a team that took Vegas to the wire in round 7. only time they lost consecutive matches all season. Back to Thomas Calcum.
If you say so.
All but one for LAX. 5 out of 6 strikes for LA. 6 out of 7. This is quite the duel.
He's sneaky, right? I mean, he doesn't look like a whole lot, but when you talk to the players on the PBA tour, they all say the same thing about Tomas. Guy's good.
Silent assassin from Finland.
Yeah, he's just kind of unassuming.
Yeah. You talked about it with Lavoie and the Atom Splitters. Francois Lavoie comes in hot. The 10 this time, and Akron has blinked.
The soft 10. And again, that's just the rev rate, or lack thereof, for Francois. The only thing holding him back from being a real dominant player out here.
Natural question, how do you get there?
Well, it's a great question, but I think you also have to ask yourself.
Just a little quick.
Maybe he's so good at what he does,
Little quick.
and then when he does have the look, he typically wins, right?
Back on track, boys, back on track.
It just doesn't have that look often enough. Does he sacrifice that to try to, does he change his game just to get more revs and then maybe lose what he does best?
McCune doing what he does best, Randy. 2 strikes for him.
Going Brooklyn?
Well, no, not going Brooklyn. Striking, which a little bit of fortune there, but power.
That was huge for that team, given the fact that Francois just missed in the 7th by not striking, and now all of a sudden you've got a game that could go 280 to 279.
Fortune.
And another Brooklyn. Yeah. What's good for one team's good for the other, John.
Yep. The New Jersey Kingpins are scoffing somewhere. But Doherty, well, the bowling god said, you know what? the bowling god.
What, me? He did it. He did it.
Right.
Me? What? I can't do it?
Look. Hey, I didn't say Kevin McCune does Brooklyning best. But he has struck twice. Don Barrett strikes again. What a finish coming here.
Man, was that beautiful motion. Take a look at the max score right here, folks. Wow. And then this guy, former MVP.
They're both good. That one was a tough right. The other
Oh,
one.
this is good. Dick Allen.
Yeah, it looked like he missed it off his hand. Ball never picked up.
And so a team that went 5-9 in the regular season got swept. They got swept by Akron. Didn't take a game. Now LAX.
All right, Dick, on spare, man. Let's go.
It's race to 2 in position.
Easy.
It's Belmo time.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, he can slam the door shut right here.
What'd you say coming in? I said, all that matters is LAX got here. They're not going to ask him about a 5-9 record. It was not pretty.
Yeah.
It was not.
Striking 5.
Belmo.
Bad shot. Unbelievably bad.
Horrid shot.
Unbelievable that a guy like that would miss the head pin going away left. Had some footing issues. You could see him after this shot go back to the foul line and kind of slide his foot. But that, yeah, unreal.
And so the Atom Splitters, just like that.
And this spare is no gimme.
And he cannot. Wow.
What an opening. Incredible.
Akron Atom Splitters go from having to think about, well, we got to take this second game. We had such a steady season. to a door cracked open by one of the game's best. And now Jesper Svensson can step up and keep that perfect record against LAX going into a second game. Baker format, race to 2. Winner gets Portland tomorrow night. Svensson.
Easy.
The 9.
All right, needs to cover this and then get at least 8.
There it is. The Lucky Larson champ. We've had a lot of great conversations with this guy this season. He's a joy to talk with.
He really is.
Does it the right way. Fresh cut, too. The Iceman needs 8. Needs 8. For LAX, Randy, what a gut punch.
Yeah, you said it. Absolutely. The one guy that you would never think that would do that. And then misses the spare.
Svensson taking his time. 12-time PBA Tour champ. 2016 Tournament of Champions crown for Jesper Svensson, needing 8. That'll do it. It's enough. Adam Splitters take a 1-0 lead in this race to 2. Jesper Svensson delivers. Mark Baker talked about having feel with this lineup. We just saw it. LAX has to recover. Adam Splitters up 1-0. Let's flash back to the Adam Splitters in 2018. They defeated the Philadelphia Hitmen. You see A.J. Johnson at Bayside Bowl right here in Portland. They swept the best of 2, the race 2 game Baker match format. Chris Barnes named the MVP. We saw him with the KingPins earlier tonight, but Barnes, 2-time MVP of PBA League, and the Adam Splitters became a 3-time Elias Cup champion. That was the first time, 2014, 15, and 18. Portland has joined them since. We'll see the Lumberjacks tomorrow night, but back in 2018, it was Chris Barnes, Johnson, Svensson, and company, and you think about this organization and team right now, Randy Peterson, they could taste the semis.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's right there in front of them once again for manager Mark Baker and his crew.
Chris Vida lead it off once again in this spot. So comfortable. U.S. Open champ from 2021. And that's not a comfortable start.
Once again, the teams flop lanes. Akron now on the left lane. That lane tends to have more friction. And I think Chris just probably made too big of a move, anticipating more hook.
60% individual strike percentage in the regular season. This time provides an open to start.
Pick me up.
If you're LAX, Randy, and you needed some sort of opening to recapture some mentality, that was it right there. Kevin Williams. LAX has to have this second game.
Williams perfect, 3 for 3. Second arrow out to about 3 with the urethane ball. And now the Canadian.
Francois Lavoie, 61% strike rate in the regular season, among the top.
Yeah, there's a friction on that lane. Remember, no re-oil between our first and second matches. Southpaw needs to create more angle.
Yeah, that's a fortunate response. He got away with one. See, Thomas Kalka made his Elite League debut last year with Chicago.
Okay, good.
Kaika has a 10. Be going to 10 a.m. class tomorrow.
Maybe you could meet with him after the telecast.
See, but here's the problem. The problem is in real time, we've had him pronounce it about 12, 13 times.
Right.
So it changes by the time. We would be here all night trying to finalize the point. He's very talented. In the second slot for LAX, in need of a spare here. LAX has to win this second game, and he recovers. Clean that up.
Let's go, TD. Throw me a good one right here. Come on now.
LAX was in a good position in game one. Just Belmonte could not capture it. Now here's Tom Doherty. What a career for this guy. Rebel.
Tampa Tom.
4-time champion, 15 wins all time on TV. And he grimacing there. Wanted that one. If you look at what these teams did in the regular season, Akron was third in the Elite League with 183 strikes. LAX right behind them. Doherty cleans that up.
Was close. And I felt like it was hard too. It still kind of caught.
We were talking earlier about team bowling. When you were playing, what was the setup when they would do those types of events? Didn't exist.
We never had these events.
Never once?
I never bowled anything like this.
Do you wish that this existed?
Absolutely. Remember at the top of the show where I said one of my favorite things growing up was bowling travel league.
Yes.
And that's a team, that's a 5-player team, and you traveled. I mean, we traveled all over Southern California, and it was, I mean, it was a brotherhood. It was like family, and you relied on each other. I mean, it was great. And when you won, you celebrated together. And when you lost, you cried together. And there's nothing like team competition. The closest thing I ever got was bowling doubles. Had a lot of great doubles partners over the years. Won some doubles regionals.
I would love this at some point. Not going to put you on the spot now. We have 2 more nights of coverage. If you did bowl on an Elite League team back in your day, how you would have assembled it. Who would be the other 4 with you? That's our producer, David Bruner. We might need to get Randy Peterson's all-time when you were in your prime, your 5. You can give thought to it here, and we're on for the next 3 nights. So I look forward to hearing that answer, because I'm sure you could assemble a team.
Let me work on it.
Homework. Don Barrett. LAX in control right now, but it's early. They need this matchup here to force a shootout, and for Don Barrett, that is sharp. That is your strike of the game, brought to you by Pilgrims. Chicken can be boring, but Pilgrims is turning chicken nuggets upside down. I love it. You love it. Put it in a nugget. Pilgrims strike of the game, and for LAX, this is what they had to do. Svensson punches right back. That's some great signage here for the Iceman. Back to Belmo. How does he recover, Randy?
Well, he's got to make sure he keeps his footing and his feet underneath him so he doesn't miss 2 arrows to the left.
This right side, and it's 1.
This looked like he missed that at the bottom of the swing.
It did. It's been with this team his entire career. The only man that could say they've stayed with the same team 11 years. A spare for Belmo. LAX still in command, but a lot to go here in this second game as LAX tries to force a shootout. We know that the Lumberjacks are in. We know that there's 3 in. Who will be the 4th team in the semifinals? The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to gobowling.com to find a center near you. Welcome back to the PBA Elite League presented by Snickers. Elias Cup playoffs on this Sunday evening, folks. First round action. Adam Splitters down 21, but they did take game 1.
Why do I look so angry in that fat head?
I don't know. I've seen you that angry. Back to Chris Vi. Portland Lumberjacks get the winner of this one. And that's big for Vi.
Come on.
Out of the break.
Go, boy. What a great shot. And again, we talk about the breakdown, the oil transitioning. That left lane is really starting to spark. Kevin Williams has been perfect, 3 for 3.
You need that talented southpaw. It's crucial to winning on this 42-foot Roth pattern at Bayside. Every championship team dating back to 2017 has featured a left-handed player.
Great point. And you are correct, sir. Having a great south. That's why Packy a couple of years back went first in the draft.
Kevin Williams has sure done his job, which was so key for him to turn this around and get going as Francois Lavoie. Frankie Chance. Sunday supper for Frankie.
Let's go, boys. One good shot each. One good shot each, boys.
Hey, John, you know who's up?
Thomas Kalka. We had Thomas earlier this year in Delaware. Talked about just locking in. Everything that comes before the shot. So focused. And for Thomas, that is a beautiful looking shot for LAX in the 7th after the Adam Splitters applied some pressure.
All right, Doherty can cut the deficit to 1 with a strike here in the 8th. You see the max scores right there.
Doherty, Lavoie, Dick Allen, Pate, the 4 draftees of this team.
Oh, baby!
Yes!
Let's go!
Yeah, he liked it.
Come on, baby.
That's 3 straight for the Adam Splitters out of our break.
Here comes the Express.
I mean, he's like...
It's so fun to watch.
He's Jerome Bettis.
Here comes the Express.
Boom. Man. Oh. The 10 did not accept the invite.
I mean, the 6-pin went around the 10 so fast. I thought the vortex created just by that action would have sucked the 10 off the deck. That was a really fast ringing 10. Watch this.
Kevin comes from such a great line of bowlers. It's an amazing family legacy.
Really is. Grandfather Don, Dad Eugene, all PBA champions.
All right, we've hit the 9th. The pressure on LAX, and here's a man who knows what it's like to win championships in Elite League. Allen.
No. No.
Holy.
No. That was so good.
Motion says it. I mean, that looked terrific. Talk about getting left at the altar.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do differently there.
That was really good. And I do think now that the left lane is the tougher of the two, because it's really starting to hook. And I mean, that was a really nice quality shot by Dick Allen, and not a lot to show for it with a solid 9.
Doesn't this situation look familiar
to
game 1?
Yeah, it really does.
If you're just joining us, Adam Splitters took game 1 because LAX didn't perform down the stretch for Barrett. Dom Barrett gets it to go.
Dom Barrett perfect in his 4 shots.
It's going to be in Belmo's hands again. 7 didn't stand a chance. And now Svensson with the pressure on, and LAX trying to force a second straight shootout here in our first round. Lumberjacks await the winner of this one. And Svensson! 7 fell. 18.7.
551 rep rate. That's bringing it.
It'll be the Las Vegas High Rollers and Motown Muscle tomorrow night. You get Andrew Anderson on one side, the MVP of the regular season, E.J. Tackett, Anthony Simonson on the other. Tomorrow night is going to be amazing. If you're a bowling fan, or if you're a fan out there who wants to get others into bowling, tomorrow night's your night. We are on 7 to 11 on FS1. Join us, won't you? Crown a champion Tuesday night. Alliance Cup winners. That's it. How about it? How about that emotion?
And how big now is that solid 9 by Dick Allen?
9, give me all 10.
If he would have struck there, this is over. Instead, LA still has a chance.
If we are tied, folks, through 10 here, we'll have a 1-ball roll-off to determine the winner of this game. LAX has to win this to force a shootout. Svensson, his last shot was so on point. This one looks good, too. It's great. Svensson, automatic.
That's why we took it.
That's why he's there. That's why he's in the anchor position. Now Belmonte needs 2 strikes.
This is serious redemption on the line for one of the all-time greats, because let's face it, he unraveled. He collapsed last game. The manager, the star, Belmo. No. And the Adams Splitters have booked a Monday night date with the Portland Lumberjacks. Misery for Belmo. Adams Splitters marching on. And then there were 4, the High Rollers of Las Vegas, the Portland Lumberjacks, the Akron Adams Splitters, and Motown Muscle, the top 4 teams in Elite League, presented by Snickers all season long. Akron advances to the semis tomorrow night. Satisfying moment of the match is sponsored by Snickers. Nothing satisfies like a Snickers.
Just head scratching for me to see arguably the greatest player of all time throw 2 shots the way he did, one on the left lane where he missed the headpin, and then that shot that we just saw. More disappointment at the league series for Jason Belmonte.
And Kimberly Pressler is with the victorious Adams Splitters.
Mark, what a win for your team tonight. You guys swept LAX. So walk me through on why it is that you guys were just to hold on tight, make sure you come through with this win.
I think Jesper hit the nail on the head at the 5th frame. We just all needed one more good shot. We all did that, even though Dick got 9, he threw a great. And then the Iceman did his job in the 10th, didn't he?
He absolutely did. And Dick's shot looked really amazing. I thought, and so did everybody else, that it was going to be a strike. Jesper, let's talk about the fact that you guys now advance. You going up against Portland, the hometown team. How are you going to get this crowd who loves them, you know, to cheer for you guys?
Well, first off, it's just great to be back here in Portland and compete in front of these guys. You know, it's this is what we dream about, and you know, we're looking forward to this event every year. And it's just sad that they're going to see the team lose tomorrow.
Those are fighting words right there. We're going to look forward to seeing you guys in the semifinals tomorrow night.
Wow. That is something from Jesper Svensson. Message received.
The Iceman not playing.
No thaw in the Atom Splitters. They march on to tomorrow night. What a semifinal slate we'll have for you. A reminder that our coverage of the 2024 PBA Elite League playoffs continues tomorrow night, live on FS1 with 4 hours of semifinal action beginning at 7 Eastern, right here from Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. It'll be Vegas and Motown, followed by Portland and Akron, the top 4 teams all season long.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic semi, and can't wait for the action tomorrow. These just greatest players on the planet going at it. It's going to be great.
Back in 2022, last year we saw Waco win it, but 2 years ago, the Portland Lumberjacks, for a 3rd straight year, PBA Elias Cup League title, defeating the Dallas Strikers. Kyle Troop, Chris Prather, Wes Malott, manager Tim Mack have been a part of all 3 Lumberjack titles.
Timmy Mack's been great over the years at assembling the best of the best. Yeah, there's Arturo, who now lives here in Portland.
Will Tim Mack's team be able to get it done in front of their hometown faithful? There's those banners. They've got the hardware to back it up. Last year falling. Took Chris Prather and could not come through. How about the High Rollers back to 2020 in Centerville, Virginia? They lost in the best-of-5 match to the Portland Lumberjacks, who defended their title. Vegas was down 2-1, tied it up in Game 4. Lumberjacks' Chris Prather sealed the win in Game 5 with a strike in the 9th frame. But Las Vegas, a runner-up. Now, are they able to take home the title? Back to Kimberly.
Well, guys, I have Andrew Anderson here. Not only is he on the #1 seed, the High Rollers, but he also just won the MVP for the regular season right here for the PBA League. So tell me about the fact that you guys are heading in as the #1 seed. How excited are you to be here back in Portland?
Yeah, it's always electrifying to be here at BOPO. We're coming with a vengeance this year. We came into the year, you know, a couple of close losses the last couple of years, and to come in as the #1 seed gives us some confidence, and we're ready to go.
All right, good luck to you guys.
Thanks.
That'll do it for us. Our coverage of the 2024 PBA Elite League playoffs continues tomorrow night live on FS1 with 4 hours of semifinal action beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern right here from Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. Coming up next here on FS1, it's Major League Soccer as Seattle hosts Sporting KC. For Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, and our entire crew, this is John Fanta saying so long from Bayside Bowl. You've been watching the PBA on FS1. We'll see you tomorrow night.